Black women have always been set right outside.
Hi lovelies, and welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. So guys, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys where, people are out to ask the reason why is a say why women get married, often engaged, and all of that, unlike black women who often end up single or maybe with a baby mama or whatever they put it. And this actually got a lot of people talking and sharing their own ideas. Guys, I'm just gonna roll the clip as well as some of the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section and let's dive into it.
Of a group of white girls who are sitting at their graduation engaged. And the question came up, well, why is there not the reality for black women? I know y'all not gonna like what I gotta say, but you know me, I'm gonna say it anyways. First and foremost, black women are above reproach. If it don't validate us or excuse our bad behavior, we don't want to hear it. Instead, we'll say, well, men do it too. Secondly, we'll find every excuse in the world to validate why we don't want to be married or why we don't want to be in a relationship. Well, they get cheated on. Well, they do this. Well, they do that. But then we have all these standards for men, and we're still actively seeking for men in the midst of our hurt while inadvertently telling them to go to therapy. We do not practice what we preach. Thirdly, the independent woman is a myth. Actually cared about being independent and it was something that made you happy, you would not have all these standards to negate your independence. Nobody wants to relinquish power. Find every excuse in the world to not be submissive and wonder why white women can get away with their bad behavior. We take everything bad from white women except for the fact using marriage to our own benefit. But you'll run to the child support office though. Equality against men, and the only time we actually want to be equal to men is when it comes to degenerate behavior, hypersexuality, abusing or abandoning children. Even when it comes to the gold digger conversation, what you don't see those other women do, even when they are just screwing men for money, is bashing men and inadvertently making men feel like they're not important. Also too, telling them that they don't need men. Psychologically, we have been taught to disassociate ourselves, and even in that Malcolm X quote where he says the black woman is the most disrespected, he also says to be near your man. Because who taught you to hate the very race that you're supposed to be with?
The answer is very simple. Two different upbringings. Black women were raised to be independent, do not depend on a man, and do what you got to do to take care of you, yourself, your family, or whoever. White women were raised to find you a man that's going to take care of the household, be a good father, and you be a good stay-at-home wife. Black women weren't around a lot of married people growing up, and if we were, it was grandmother who really don't even like granddad, and they just would stand together just to be together. White women literally grew up generation after generation of married high school sweethearts, so they don't know anything more. Black women weren't raised on love, we was raised on survival. Do what you gotta do for yourself and not depend on a man. White women were raised that the man is gonna take care of you, just be a loving wife. Also, the grass is not green on the other side. Be happy within yourself. Don't try to compare yourself to others.
Address all the things in 3 minutes, but I want to address the underlying issue with this video. It is talking at black women as to why they're not experiencing engagement and marriage by the time they are finished with their undergraduate degree, all through a lens of white womanhood and whiteness. And while that should be obvious as to why that's insufficient, I want to talk a little bit about what are the ways that we actually experience womanhood as black women, and like how is that in conversation with healthy and happy enduring black marriages. So womanhood in the United States has had a couple of different iterations starting in the 19th century. True womanhood is one that was coined originally in 1976 as a way to describe the coded identity of women in the mid 1800s. It was a woman that understood motherhood as her highest calling, with all of her activities, even education, centering around the nurturing of her husband, care of her children, and maintenance of her household. For lots of reasons, too many to name, black women have always been set right outside all of the understandings of womanhood in the United States. Because of that exclusion, we have worked hard as a community to make really culturally relevant understandings of womanhood come into play. And that gives rise to what lots of people know as the strong black woman schema. Lots of people view it as negative. It's actually quite positive, but that's another video. So research shows that Black parents engage in the practice of armoring their daughters, a socializing that includes both Black respectability, which is the true womanhood, right? As well as a narrative of strength, which is specific to us, understood as independence, resilience, and the ability to endure hardship while also serving as selfless caretakers. Parents see the effort of armoring their daughters as a political strategy for self-protection, where they can develop the psychological resistance to defy sexism and racism in a world where their undervaluing, degradation, and invisibility take shape in particular ways because of their intersecting marginalized identities. So you cannot understand Black women experiencing lower rates of marriage through a lens of white womanhood when we have all this additional factor, that strength piece, that armoring piece, that white women do not have. Now, some people would view the strong Black women schema as negative, but reality is that we live in a culture and in a society that has necessitated its existence. And so we are doing the very best that we can with the tools that we have in order to survive and to thrive. And so I will make another video as to how the SBWS actually helps to contribute to enduring and healthy Black marriages.
Y'all, I swear the older I get, as a woman and being in corporate spaces and predominantly white spaces, it's the more I come to understand that even though you were given the silver platter, the beauty standard on a silver platter, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough to fucking love yourself, enough to not be concerned with what another woman is doing or another demographic is doing and saying and believing about themselves. I am not triggered that the next woman thinks she's the shit, because that has nothing to do with me. I also think I'm the shit, and it has nothing to do with her. Why y'all are always in the comments telling Black women to humble themselves, you need to assess that within self. Because that doesn't scream gag, you got me, you gagged me. No, babes, it screams fucking crippling insecurity. And that if I don't hate myself in comparison to you, you won't feel good walking past the mirror every morning. And that seems like a you problem and not a Black woman problem.
Black women are the least married, yes. And our single motherhood rates have gone down, but they're still pretty high. Yes, both of those are true. And I find it fascinating, and maybe you can help me understand why. Because in spite of being the least married and a lot of single motherhood, we still manage to be the most educated, the most businesses, the most politically involved. So I'm not understanding what the roast is about. So we're unmarried, we're raising kids by ourselves, and still achieving more than the guys, Black or white. That's the criticism. Because we ain't got a man, we ain't ish.
So let me tell you why, because older white women have told me this many, many times. First of all, Black women go to college to get an education, and so do poor white women. Okay, we go to school to get an education to better ourselves. Them elite women, private colleges, Harvard, Yale, they go to school to find a husband, honey. They go to school to find a doctor, a lawyer, an architect. We're not in school for the same reasons. They have educations in case they get divorced. They have something to fall back on. But their primary goal is to marry into money and keep family money. You know what I'm talking about? Like, they're not there like I'm there to get an education. They're there to find a husband of their own social status. That's why.
Why are you minding white women's business? See, when they insert themselves into our business, we quick to check them. Now, I'm not going to play that double standard shit. Mind your business. Stay out of white women's business. Okay? They're men And what they do with their men and why they choose to marry their men at a certain time is their white business. We got too much shit going on in our community because our black men don't want to get their mental health together. And you up here comparing us to them. Worry about your own black business. And I can assure you, most black women that got married out of high school or college are divorced now. Because our men have mommy issues and they're going through a mental health crisis. This is giving pick me energy because black women,
like, seriously, lovelies, first of all, I would say that you shouldn't, actually compare yourself to other women or other culture on how they actually brought themselves up or how they were actually brought up by their parents, relations, and all of that. Black women, in the other hand, I believe that this has to do with upbringing. It has to do with upbringing and how you were raised, right from time, and due to what has happened in the past between, rape and cis and all of that, and slaveries and all of that. Black women have been projected, have been given this thing that you do not have to be the least person. You have to just work on yourself. You have to prove to yourself, you have to prove to the world that you are better, that you can do it. Due to what have happened in the past, because of this, black women are more concentrated on building themselves. They are more concentrated on trying to be a better version of them so that they can actually suit very well in the society. So I think this has a lot of things to do with the way at which we are brought up, with the way we were told that if you don't ascertain a certain level in life, you will not be respected, you will not be valued, because you being a black person is a red flag. Then talk more of a black person or a black woman without anything to show for it. So because of this, a lot of women are more concentrated in finding themselves, in building themselves, in taking care of themselves, in trying to achieve one or two things by themselves, because without being in the spotlight of maybe you are someone of color and also you don't have anything to point out with it, then you are just as good as you're just irrelevant. I saw a video one time where a mother, she's actually a single mom with her daughter. They were shopping, and this person knows how to do it. Somebody was actually following them. What this little girl did was just to look and ask mom, why is it that this person, who happens to be a punk person, was following them? The only thing the mom did was to tell her that in order for you to conquer somebody like this that often treats you like a second class because of the color of your skin, you have to conquer this person by being successful. You have to conquer this person by showing this person that you are worthwhile. You have to conquer this person by showing this person that you can actually do it, that your skin does not really matter. So just imagine a child like that being brought up that you have to actually work it out yourself. You have to show the world that you can do it. You have to succeed. You don't have to do anything again. You just have to keep on succeeding to show the world that after all, I'm a black person, but I have something to offer. So because of this thing that is still happening, I saw it's not quite long. What do you expect from that baby? These people will just go ahead, concentrate more on achieving a goal, educational wise. Try to, focus without trying or without anyone trying to, distract her. They will do, or they will go to some extent to actually, achieve a goal. That's why we have a lot of successful black women these days. We have a lot of successful black businesses. That's a video I posted on my other channel. A white man was complaining of how rape and cis a black woman was. You don't know how this black woman was raised. You don't know what she have to pass through in order for her to ascertain that position in life. You don't know what she have to see in order for her to ascertain that position, to even give her the audacity to be your boss as a black woman. He was all complaining of how liberal women are so rare and cis, and how, because they have been taught to be that. This world is a very tough place for black people in general, then tougher place for a black woman. It's not easy being a black woman. You have to stand out to be able to be, so as to be picked. You've been trained that you need to succeed on your own. And another thing is that men are not even helping out in this issue. A lot of men will want to go into the life of these women, break their heart, actually make them to trust them. After the trust and all of that, they have to face the economical or the world or the society, rate and system, all of that. And back home, they still have to face a man that is not even trustworthy, impregnating them and leaving them by themselves. Or like, seriously, there are lots in the plate for black women. It's really, really not easy for one to be a black woman. It's not easy a job. Talk more of a woman who happens to be a stay at home or a single, or what I call it, a single parental woman. It's not easy. There is a video I posted where a man was like, women are too masculine these days. They are too masculine because of how the society has actually, treated them. They are too masculine because they do not matter. The word is not the word of a woman. You will be the one at the receiving end. That's why in today's world there are a lot of women that just want to build their career, become single, enjoy their lives, and that is all because they are too done with the bullshit of the world. Seriously, it's not easy being a black woman, and you shouldn't even compare a black woman with a white woman. White women have so many privileges. In their growing up, they were just taught to, be all beauty, go to school and just become a queen and you'll be taken care of. It is not like that in the life of a black woman. It's not. You have to work yourself out. You have to work yourself up in order for you to get there. If you're after doing it for yourself, if you have offspring, you have to also be strong for your offspring. It's an unending journey for a black woman. It's not easy being a black woman. Sometimes when I say single, movement by choice, trending and all of that, and guys coming for them, I said to myself that these guys do not even know what these women have to pass through for them to decide that they want to be single by choice or they want to be child-free by choice. You don't know what it is or what it takes to be a single person or what it takes to be a child-free by choice. But it's not as if they wanted it, but the society have made them to choose that kind of life. And the people, the individual, the men that were supposed to be there to guide them, protect them, they're not even helping matters. So what do you expect from such women? You want them to just sit around and wait for one man to get married to them. Meanwhile, when they give chance to such men, the only thing they do was just to hurt them. And what do you expect them to do? They become so independent, work on themselves more, and try as much as they can to achieve something by themselves without any man being interference. So I think this has to do with the society, the pressure and all of that, and men, everybody's just involved. Because being a black woman is not easy. Anyways, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment or whatsoever. We just here for educational purposes and for relationship matters. So please share this video. Subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. And I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.